Ladies, let me tell you something. If you want to be the woman that no man can ignore, it's not about chasing him, begging for his attention, or changing who you are to fit his expectation. No, it's about becoming so valuable, so confident, and so purpose-driven that the right man has no choice but to step up or step aside. Before you even think about a man, focus on yourself. Your goals, your dreams, your happiness, those come first. When a woman has purpose, ambition, and independence, she becomes a magnet for success and respect. You don't need a man to complete you. You need a partner who adds to the greatness you've already built. Too many women make the mistake of thinking that being in a relationship is the goal. But the truth is, your real goal should be to create a life that is so full, so rich, and so meaningful that a man is just an addition, not a necessity. The first step in this process is to develop a deep and unshakable sense of self. You have to know who you are, what you want, and what you stand for. This means spending time alone, reflecting on your passions, and figuring out what truly makes you happy. It means setting goals that excite you, whether that's advancing in your career, starting your own business, traveling the world, or pursuing a hobby that lights you up inside. When you live with passion and purpose, you naturally radiate an energy that draws people toward you, including the right kind of men. A woman who builds her own life first is also financially independent. She doesn't rely on a man to pay her bills or fund her lifestyle because she understands the power of having her own. Financial independence is about more than just money. It's about freedom. When you have your own resources, you get to make choices that serve you, rather than staying in situations that no longer bring you joy just because you feel financially stuck. This is why it's so important to educate yourself about money, build a career that sustains you, and invest in your future. A man respects a woman who can take care of herself, and a high-quality man will see your independence as a strength, not a threat. Beyond finances, building your own life means creating a rich social circle. Your friends, your family, and the people who uplift and support you should always remain a priority. Too often, women get into relationships and slowly distance themselves from their support system. They cancel on their friends, stop going to events they used to enjoy, and make their entire world revolve around their partner. This is dangerous because when a relationship becomes your only source of joy, you give away all your power. Instead, keep nurturing your friendships. Keep spending time with the people who have always been there for you. And keep doing the things that bring you happiness outside of your relationship. When a man sees that you have a full and thriving life, he knows he has to bring something valuable to the table to be a part of it. Another crucial part of building your own life is personal growth. This means constantly striving to be the best version of yourself. Read books, take courses, develop new skills, and never stop learning. Growth is attractive. It shows that you're evolving, that you're curious, and that you're committed to becoming the best version of yourself. A man can't ignore a woman who is constantly leveling up. He sees her ambition, her dedication, and her hunger for success, and he either rises to meet her or steps aside. This is how you separate the men who are serious about you from those who just want to waste your time. Health and wellness also play a huge role in building a fulfilling life. Taking care of your body, mind, and soul is not just about looking good. It's about feeling good. Exercise, eat well, practice self-care, and prioritize your mental health. When you feel strong, confident, and at peace within yourself, you glow from the inside out. This kind of energy is magnetic, and it naturally attracts people towards you. A woman who is comfortable in her own skin and takes care of herself exudes confidence. And confidence is one of the most attractive qualities a person can have. Another important aspect of building your own life is having standards. When you know your worth, you don't settle for less than you deserve. You don't entertain half-hearted efforts, mixed signals, or relationships that don't serve you. You know that your time and energy are valuable, and you only invest them in people who show up for you in the way that you need. This is not about having unrealistic expectations. It's about knowing what you want and refusing to accept anything less. A man can't ignore a woman who has high standards because he knows that if he wants to be with her, he has to step up. When you focus on yourself first, you send a powerful message to the world that you are complete on your own. that you are capable, and that you are happy whether you are in a relationship or not. This kind of self-assurance is rare, and it's incredibly attractive. The right man will recognize it, respect it, and do everything in his power to be a part of your life, not because you need him, but because you've built a life so amazing that he wants to be a part of it. Too often, women are taught that they need to be in a relationship to be happy, that their worth is tied to whether or not they have a man. But the truth is, the happiest, most fulfilled women are the ones who build their own joy, who create a life that excites them, and who never settle for less than they deserve. They don't wait for a man to complete them because they know they are already whole. And when a man meets a woman like that, he knows he has found someone truly special, someone he can't ignore. Confidence is like a secret weapon. It's something you don't have to announce, yet everyone notices. The way you carry yourself, the way you speak, and the way you interact with the world all send signals about your confidence level. A woman who is confident is magnetic. She doesn't have to chase anyone's approval because she already knows her worth. When a man sees a woman who walks into a room with her head high, shoulders back, and a presence that demands respect, he can't help but notice. Confidence is not about arrogance or thinking you're better than anyone else. It's about being secure in who you are. It's about knowing that you bring something valuable to the table. Many women struggle with confidence because society has conditioned them to seek validation from others. They've been taught to base their self-worth on how much attention they receive, how desirable they are to men, or how they compare to other women. But true confidence doesn't come from external validation. It comes from within. It comes from knowing that you are enough just as you are. One of the first steps to building confidence is changing the way you talk to yourself. Your inner dialogue shapes your reality. If you constantly tell yourself that you're not good enough, not pretty enough, or not smart enough, you will start to believe it. But if you train yourself to speak positively, to remind yourself of your strengths and to celebrate your accomplishments, you will build a mindset that supports confidence rather than tearing it down. Every morning, look in the mirror and affirm yourself. I am worthy. I am strong. I am enough. Speak to yourself with kindness because the way you treat yourself sets the tone for how others will treat you. Body language is another powerful indicator of confidence. Even if you don't feel 100% confident all the time, you can project confidence by the way you present yourself. Stand tall. Make eye contact and smile. Avoid crossing your arms or looking down when you speak. When you walk into a room, walk in like you belong there, because the energy you project will influence how people perceive you, including men. A man will notice a woman who carries herself like a queen far more than someone who shrinks herself or tries to fade into the background. Confidence is also about knowing what you want and not being afraid to express it. A confident woman doesn't play games or send mixed signals. She knows what she's looking for in a relationship, and she's not afraid to communicate it. Some women fear that being direct will scare men away, but the truth is, the right man will appreciate clarity. A man can't ignore a woman who confidently states her standards and expectations. If he is serious, he will rise to meet them. If he isn't, he will move out of the way, saving her time and energy. Another key aspect of confidence is knowing when to walk away. A confident woman never begs for love, attention, or respect. If a man is inconsistent, disrespectful, or not putting in the effort, she knows she deserves better. She doesn't waste time on situations that don't serve her. She values herself too much to stay in a relationship that makes her feel insecure, unappreciated, or undervalued. Walking away from something that isn't right is one of the most powerful displays of confidence. It sends a clear message. I am valuable, and I refuse to settle. Confidence is built through experience, growth, and self-investment. A woman who invests in herself, whether it's through education, career development, fitness, or personal growth, naturally exudes confidence. She knows she's putting in the work to become the best version of herself. She's not waiting for a man to give her a sense of worth. She's creating her own value. When a woman is focused on her growth, she radiates a different kind of energy, one that draws people toward her. Part of confidence is also about handling rejection with grace. Not every man will see your worth, and that's okay. Rejection does not define you. It simply means that the right person hasn't come along yet. A confident woman doesn't let one person's opinion shake her self-worth. Instead of feeling discouraged, she understands that rejection is redirection. She knows that what is meant for her will never pass her by. Confidence is also about embracing your uniqueness. Too many women try to fit into a mold that they think will make them more desirable. They change their personality, their interests, or their appearance to fit someone else's expectations. But the truth is, the most attractive thing you can be is yourself. A confident woman doesn't try to blend in. She stands up. She embraces her quirks, her passions, and her individuality. A man can't ignore a woman who is unapologetically herself because she is rare, and rare things are valuable. Self-care plays a huge role in confidence. When you take care of yourself, physically, mentally, and emotionally, you feel good about yourself. Exercise, eat well, dress in a way that makes you feel powerful, and make time for activities that bring you joy. When you prioritize your well-being, you send a message to yourself and to others that you are worthy of care and respect. Confidence isn't just about how you look, it's about how you feel from the inside out. Finally, confidence is contagious. When you are confident, you inspire confidence in others. People want to be around you because your energy is uplifting. A confident woman lights up a room not because she demands attention, but because her presence is undeniable. She doesn't seek approval. She already knows she's enough. And when a man meets a woman like that, he can't help but be drawn to her. Confidence is not something you were born with. It's something you build. And once you have it, you become a woman no man can ignore. Some women think that having high standards means having an attitude, being unapproachable or being too demanding. But that's not true. Having high standards simply means knowing what you deserve and refusing to settle for less. It's about setting clear boundaries, valuing yourself, and expecting the same level of effort, respect, and commitment that you give. But here's the key. You don't just set high standards and then act cold or distant. You also keep your heart open. You remain kind, loving, and open to growth. A lot of women struggle with this balance. They either lower their standards out of fear of being alone, or they put up walls so high that they push away potential partners. The goal is to find a middle ground. You need to demand respect, loyalty, and consistency while still being warm, approachable, and emotionally available. A woman who knows how to balance these two things is irresistible because she's rare. The first part of setting high standards is knowing your non-negotiables. What are the things you absolutely will not tolerate in a relationship? Maybe it's dishonesty, inconsistency, lack of ambition, or emotional unavailability. Whatever it is, you need to be clear about. If a man disrespects one of your core values, you don't make excuses for him. You don't try to change him. You walk away. A woman with standards does not entertain behavior that goes against what she believes in. And here's the secret. Men respect women who respect themselves. When a man sees that you're not willing to tolerate mistreatment, he knows that he has to step up or step out. But having high standards doesn't mean being unrealistic. Some women have a checklist that's so rigid that no man could ever meet it. They want someone who is 6 feet tall, makes 6 figures, drives a luxury car, has the perfect personality, and never makes a mistake. The problem with this mindset is that it focuses on superficial qualities rather than character. A good man is not defined by his height, his bank account, or the car he drives. He is defined by his integrity, his ambition, his kindness, and his ability to love and support you. High standards should be about values, not just external factors. Another mistake some women make is testing men instead of setting clear expectations. They play hard to create unnecessary drama, or expect men to read their minds. A confident woman with high standards doesn't need to play games. She communicates her expectations clearly. If she wants commitment, she doesn't pretend to be okay with casual dating. If she needs consistency, she doesn't accept mixed signals. She makes her desires known and she expects them to be met. This kind of directness is attractive because it shows confidence, self-awareness, and emotional maturity. At the same time, keeping your heart open means allowing yourself to be vulnerable. Some women have been hurt before, so they build walls to protect themselves. They become guarded, distant, or overly independent to avoid getting hurt again. But love requires risk. You can't experience deep, meaningful connections if you're not willing to open your heart. This doesn't mean you let just anyone in. It means that when you find someone who meets your standards, you allow yourself to trust, to love, and to give without fear. A woman who is strong yet open, independent yet emotionally available, is a rare and valuable partner. Another way to keep your heart open is to avoid assuming the worst about men. Some women have been disappointed so many times that they start expecting every man to let them down. They approach relationships with suspicion, waiting for something to go wrong. But when you carry this kind of energy, you attract exactly what you fear. Instead of assuming that all men are the same, give people a fair chance. Look for actions, not just words. A good man will prove himself through consistency, honesty, and effort. Keeping your heart open also means being willing to grow. Relationships require compromise, understanding, and emotional intelligence. No one is perfect, including you. If you expect a man to be patient, forgiving, and supportive, you have to be the same. High standards don't mean expecting perfection from someone else while refusing to work on yourself. They mean choosing a partner who is willing to grow with you, someone who shares your values and is committed to becoming better together. A woman who has high standards but remains kind and open is unforgettable. She stands out because she knows her worth but doesn't let past experiences make her bitter. She expects effort, but also gives effort. She sets boundaries, but still loves deeply. A man can't ignore a woman like this because she is both a challenge and a reward. She makes him want to be a better man, not because she demands it, but because her presence inspires him. At the end of the day, the key is balance. Know what you deserve, but don't close yourself off. You expect the best, but be willing to give your best. Have high standards, but keep your heart open. A woman who masters this will never be ignored. She will be cherished, respected, and loved the way she deserves. One of the biggest mistakes women make in relationships is losing themselves. They meet someone, fall in love, and suddenly their whole world starts revolving around that person. They stop prioritizing their own needs, passions, and dreams. They cancel plans with friends, put their goals on hold, and make their partner the center of their universe. While love is a beautiful thing, it should never come at the cost of your identity. A man can't ignore a woman who maintains her sense of self, no matter how deeply in love she is. When you enter a relationship, you bring your own energy, passions, and personality into it. That's what makes you attractive in the first place, the things that make you unique. The worst thing you can do is let that fade away because you're too focused on pleasing your partner. A relationship should enhance your life, not consume it. The strongest, most desirable women are those who remain true to themselves, no matter their relationship status. The foundation of never losing yourself in love is prioritizing your personal goals. What do you want to accomplish in life? What are your dreams, ambitions, and passions? Before you met your partner, you had things that excited you, whether it was a career goal, a creative pursuit, or a personal project. Just because you're in love doesn't mean those things should take a back seat. A healthy relationship should support your growth, not stunt it. A man will admire and respect a woman who stays committed to her own success, because that drive and independence make her even more attractive. One way to ensure you don't lose yourself in love is to keep nurturing your friendships. Many women, once they enter a serious relationship, start spending less time with their friends. They turn down invitations, stop checking in, and slowly drift away. This is a mistake. Your friends are an important part of your support system. They were there before your relationship, and they should still be there during and after it. A well-rounded woman understands that a romantic relationship is just one part of her life. Her friendships, family, and personal interests are just as important. Another crucial aspect of maintaining your identity in a relationship is setting boundaries. Love can sometimes make people overly accommodating. You want to make your partner happy, so you start saying yes to everything. But compromising too much can lead to resentment and a loss of self-respect. If something makes you uncomfortable, speak up. If you need personal space, ask for it. If you have responsibilities or hobbies that require your time, don't abandon. A man can't ignore a woman who sets boundaries because it shows she has self-respect and won't allow herself to be taken for granted. Confidence in a relationship also comes from having your own interests and hobbies. It's wonderful to share activities with your partner, but you should also have things that are just yours. Maybe it's a fitness routine, an art class, a book club, or a passion project. These activities remind you of who you are outside of your relationship. They keep you grounded and give you something to talk about and share with your partner. A woman with her own interests is more intriguing because she has depth, independence, and something valuable to bring to the table. Another important thing to remember is that you should never change who you are to fit someone else's expectations. Sometimes in an effort to make a relationship work, people start molding themselves into what they think their partner wants. They change their personality, their opinions, even their values. But this is dangerous because it creates an imbalance. A strong relationship is built on authenticity, on two people being their true selves and accepting each other as they are. A man can't ignore a woman who is unapologetically herself, because she stands out in a world where so many people try to conform. One of the most powerful things you can do in a relationship is continue evolving. Just because you're in love doesn't mean you stop growing as a person. Learn new skills, take on new challenges, and always strive to become the best version of yourself. Personal growth not only makes you a more fulfilled person, but it also keeps the relationship exciting. A man will be inspired by a woman who is constantly improving herself, because it shows that she values her own happiness and success. It's also important to maintain your independence, emotionally, financially, and mentally. Love should never make you dependent on another person for your happiness. A strong woman knows how to stand on her own, even in a relationship. This doesn't mean you don't rely on your partner for support, but it does mean that your happiness doesn't solely depend on them. You should be happy with or without a relationship. When a man sees that a woman is whole on her own, he respects her more, values her more, and is more motivated to keep her in his life. Lastly, never forget the power of self-love. The relationship you have with yourself sets the standard for every other relationship in your life. If you love and respect yourself, you won't accept less from anyone else. If you prioritize your happiness, you won't allow a relationship to drain you. Self-love is about making choices that serve you, knowing when to walk away, and never settling for less than you deserve. A man can't ignore a woman who loves herself because she radiates confidence, joy, and strength. At the end of the day, love should be a beautiful addition to your life, not something that takes over your entire identity. Stay true to who you are, keep growing, and never lose yourself in love. The right man will admire and cherish the woman who remains independent, confident, and fully herself.